Hello, welcome to Mindful Life Project's Mindful Moments. You're here again with your friend JG. Hope all is well with you this week. I'm excited actually on this episode. We're going to have a special guest. She'll be showing us a little bit about how mindfulness has helped her, as well as leading us through a mindful sit, getting us into that mindful zone. Today I wanted to focus on one of the pieces of mindfulness that really has dynamically alleviated a lot of weight on my shoulders, has allowed me freedom to understand kind of what the brain is there for and how the brain reacts and what it does to be fully in survival mode and how to get it away from survival mode. And there's a lot of research that shows that the brain wiring is actually made for survival, right? That the brain's main function is to help us make it through the day, to make it to another day. And that there's practices like mindfulness, heartfulness, self-compassion, sending ourselves that loving, kind feeling, gratitude, empathy, connecting with others and being able to help them, that can get us from the wiring of survival to wiring of happiness and contentment and being present. And that really in mindfulness, what we're learning is how to create space and time between a stimulus and our reaction, something that's happening to us or an experience we're having, and how we react to it, instead creating more and more space so we can have a wise response. A response is both better for ourselves in the way we want to live our life, as well as it helps others around us, right? So that's why mindfulness has this huge potential to heal ourselves and heal the community we're in. And that the more and more we practice, the more we can create that space so we can have wiser responses. And one of the pieces that we really get to know in the brain science of mindfulness, and a lot of research is showing, that often when we react, we're flipping the lid, right? That we're losing control. An emotion takes over and we do things we wish we wouldn't, right? So we might yell or scream or get violent. We might be mean to ourselves and really beat ourselves up. And that we're in this place of survival, right? That our brain is kind of feeling almost like it blacks out, like it doesn't have control. And really, actually, at the same time, we get to learn that in mindfulness, that there's two pieces, to the two parts of the brain that really are around this piece. There's the prefrontal cortex, right? Higher level thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, self-regulation, being able to calm the mind and body down, being able to really connect, right? And understand and experience the world as we see it. With awareness. And then there's the amygdala, right? The amygdala, almond-sized shape, back of the brain, reptilian part of the brain. It's our alarm system. It tells us when we're in deep danger or something's happening that we have to be away from, that we have to be safe from, okay? The issue that happens is when you have enough times where the amygdala has gone off and flipped the lid of the prefrontal cortex, that amygdala starts being more and more on alarm mode, more and more on survival mode. And when the amygdala goes into alarm mode, what happens? Yep, the prefrontal cortex cannot function, right? So all the things we need, self-regulation, sense of calm, being able to understand and really connect with what's really happening, gets shut off. And so we're reactive, we lose control, right? And all of the research is showing that if you have a daily mindfulness practice, you're going to start actually creating more activity in the parts of the brain, like the prefrontal cortex, and less activity in the amygdala. So that when something isn't really dangerous, for example, I think about when students throw a pencil on the ground, right? And teacher says, pick up that pencil, right? And the student, just by hearing pick up that pencil, it goes right to their amygdala. They feel like they're in danger. And they might say like, no, I'm not picking up that pencil. You know, you've seen that before, right? And that's because the amygdala is telling the signals, cortisol, stress hormones, that there's real danger. When the teacher just asking you to pick up the pencil, there's no real danger, right? But the brain doesn't know the difference. So the more and more we practice mindfulness, the less the amygdala will be active. It'll only be active when it needs to, like a speeding car going by, you jump off onto the curb. You felt danger, the amygdala went on alarm system, you look left, you see the car, you jump out of the way, and you survive. So that the amygdala is still going to be fully functional, but the prefrontal cortex will be more active, and you'll be able to really be able to make wise responses instead of reactions that are negative for yourself and others. right? So that's the practice of mindfulness, is being present without judgment. But when we sit in stillness, we're actually changing the wiring of the brain. We're changing what's happening with our brain so that we can be at the highest health, both mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? This is the practice. So every time we sit, we can realize and focus on how this present moment awareness in stillness is helping us be more present in the rest of our lives. And the second we're focusing on a teacher talking, or paying attention to our art, or paying attention to music, the brain is also focusing and it's helping it tune in. The more we can tune in stillness, the more we can tune in on our everyday activities. So I'll pass it over to my great guest today, Gabriella. Enjoy the show. Hello everyone, welcome to Mindful Moments. I'm excited to have a guest today. What's your name?
Gabriella.
And how old are you?
7.
7, very cool. Do you practice mindfulness?
Mm-hmm.
Do you practice at home or at school?
Home and school.
Oh wow, very cool. And what does mindfulness mean to you? What does it seem to mean when you think about mindfulness? What does it mean to you?
Happy.
Being happy? Okay. What else? Is it about being distracted and thinking about a lot of things?
No.
No? What's it about?
Thinking about one thing and not being distracted.
Oh, very cool. Thinking about one thing and not being distracted. Is that easy or hard?
Kind of hard.
Yeah. What can you do to make it easier? Let's say we're putting all our attention on our breath, right? What's something we can do to help us stay focused on the breath? Have you learned any techniques, any strategies to stay focused on the breath?
Put your hand on your anchor spot.
Oh, cool. So you can find the anchor spot. And what is that for you? Where is your anchor spot?
On my tummy.
What do you notice about the breath at your tummy? Does it go sideways? The breath goes sideways, or does it go up and down? Or how does it feel?
Up and down.
Yeah, like a rise and the fall? Cool. And when can you use mindful breathing? Are there times where you use mindful breathing at school or at home?
Sometimes when I'm mad.
Okay, cool. And how does that help you? Let's say you're feeling mad, something at school happened, and you're feeling mad, and you decide to use mindful breathing. What does it do for you?
It makes me feel better.
Why? What happens?
I take a deep breath in, and then when I was mad, it goes away.
Just with one breath, or sometimes you have to take more?
Sometimes I have to take 3 or 4.
3 or 4 breaths. But at some point it goes away? You feel better? Very cool. Have you seen any times where kids at school are using mindfulness?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how is it helping them?
I don't know.
Don't know. Cool. Well, thank you. Is there anything you want to tell anybody out there about mindfulness that surprised you, or anything you want people to know?
No.
All right. Thanks for having me interview you. My name is J.G. LaRoche from Mindful Life Project. This is?
Gabriella.
What's your last name?
Sarah.
Oh, that's my daughter. Thank you.
Will do mindful listening and mindful breathing. I got my feet on the floor.
I've got my feet on the floor.
Spine in a line.
Spine in a line.
Hands in your lap.
Hands in my lap.
Heart to sky.
Heart to the sky. So noticing the sounds in the room or the sounds that are outside, allowing your body to be relaxed and still, just bringing attention to the present moment through sound awareness. Allowing sounds to come into your ears and just waiting for those sounds to drift away and allowing the next sound to arrive. Start naming the sounds that are in the room. Maybe you have a clock ticking, or there's a little air from the heater, or the fan is on. You might have some background sounds in a different room, as well as sounds like the bell accidentally being rung, or sounds from outside, cars, wind. You might even have some birds or some other animals you can hear. Right now we can hear frogs in the distance. And then guiding our attention from sound to the breath. So finding your anchor spot. So putting your hand on either your belly, if that's where you find the breath the strongest. And just noticing the rise and the fall. Or maybe at your chest, if that's where it is, where it grows bigger and then comes in smaller. Or even just at the nose, just a regular breath. No need to change the breath or do anything, but just notice it as it is. Breathing in and breathing out. And try to stay with each breath. Every breath is a little bit different. Notice the similarities and the differences. Where does the breath start? Where does it pause? And then where does it go? Stay with this breath. And then the next one. As a ship needs an anchor to stay in one place, we can find our anchor spot where the breath is the strongest to keep us here now, in the present moment. And to end, take one intentional breath in, breathing in, and breathing out. One more, breathing in, and breathing out. And we'll end with the sound of the bell. From the beginning to the end, try to stay with it. Listen to the sound without any judgment, just noticing it for sound. And remember, when we practice mindfulness, we're practicing not only for ourselves, but others as well. We're creating space between a stimulus and a reaction, something that's happening to us and the way we react to it, and instead creating a response that both helps us and those around us so we can live a mindful life. See you next time at Mindful Moments. This is JG and Gabriella. Thank you.